2, 1. What up?
Oh, sorry.
What
up, JK fam?
We are back with another video. Thank you for tuning into our channel again. As you see, we are back in the dining room. That means we have another dining room discussion for you all. And this is going to be a part 2 of the first video we did about raising kids in this sinful world. But this video, instead of talking about the things that are potential dangers to our children, we're going to talk about how we as parents try to combat those things. So stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. We're back with another episode, and we're going to hit on some quick points. We don't want to talk you all to death. And these are just 3 things that we came up with together. And the first point that we want to touch on when talking about how we can prepare our children for this crazy world and how we can combat that is just by demonstrating that which we want them to live out for themselves, right? People have told us for the longest time when having children, it's important to remember that we are a key example and the biggest example in them seeing how they should live. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because Bryson is almost 2, and he's at the age now where he's like imitating and mimicking everything we do. Anything that comes out of our mouth, he'll do. Anything that we do, he'll try and copy us. It's really important that we do things that we want him to imitate and we want him to live out in his own life so that he thinks, oh, this is the right thing to do. Because anything we do is like, oh, well, mommy and daddy are doing it, so that means I should do it. So just making sure we're really careful with that.
For sure. And to piggyback on your point, since we are Christians, as you all know, and we live by the Bible, we are Bryson's first example of what that looks like lived out. So it's very important for us to understand that as we try to obey the Bible, he's going to be watching us try to obey the Bible, and he doesn't even know that yet.
Yeah.
So it's good for us to really understand that our example is important. But the second thing we wanted to talk about is just being careful what we expose Bryson to. And we're gonna have to pause because Ray's crying. I'm gonna go get her. I'll be back.
Okay.
Ooh.
And there she is.
Say hi. She's like, whoa.
She low-key always wants to try and make an appearance in these videos.
Yes, she does.
She knows what she's doing. Yeah. Oh, her bow.
Like I said before I left, we are on the second point we wanted to discuss, and that is just being careful of what we expose our children to. It's very important that you create the environment that you want in your home to foster and stimulate that growth that you want to see in your children. And when we think about exposing our kids to things, right, we touched on it a little bit in the last video, but music.
Yeah, it's a big one. We always play music in the house. So like when we listen to music, I play Bryson like educational songs. I'll play him some Disney every now and again because Disney's just elite.
Disney.
But then I'll play like an artist, his name is Steve Green. I'll play like worship music, but like the kids versions. And Bryson loves listening to those types of songs. So we really try to have just music that is going to allow him to grow and teach him things as well.
Yep, and teach him things that align with what we believe, right? Because we don't want to be exposing him to music that, 1, we don't relate to, 2, we don't believe glorifies God. And that kind of goes hand in hand with TV. Like if you allow toddlers, and that's where Bryson is now, he's a young toddler, to watch too much TV, you know, it can promote a lifestyle of just sitting around. Sedentary and laziness. And they're too young and too active to be sitting down watching TV all day. But just TV in general. I don't think, at least for our children, because everybody's different, I just believe that we shouldn't be letting our children sit down and watch TV for too long. And that leads us to our next point, and that's us being careful, Kiana and I, of what language we use in our home, right? Everybody knows from their personal home experiences what type of language was used in your home, and that has a strong correlation to how you'll speak as parents to your children, you know?
Yeah, and that's not like, because of how we live and what we believe, we don't cuss. But just being negative towards each other, I'm like, I'll say, oh, dang it. And Bryson will be like, oh, dang it. I mean, he won't say it that clear, but he'll try and mimic that. It's like, ooh, I really shouldn't say that, you know? But he does copy everything we say and just what we say to each other as well. So making sure that we are lifting each other up and being positive around each other.
Yep, for sure. And to piggyback on that point, growing up, my dad always hated us joking around too much to the point where like it can be demeaning and belittling to a person. And how we interact is another umbrella type of topic, but when we discussed this point, we thought about how Key and I joke and play together, right? Because as a husband, it's my job to be sensitive and loving and gentle with you, right? Like God tells me to do in his word, like he's done to us. And I have to demonstrate that for Bryson to see as well. Because if I'm rough with Kiana, if I'm, joking and loud and dominant over you, Bryson is going to be rough with her as well. That's a whole nother topic because he's naturally rough, like he's heavy-handed.
So heavy-handed.
So we're working on that with him. But I gotta, as a dad and as a husband, demonstrate the sensitivity and gentleness that I want him to see.
Yeah, because we're trying to teach him that you can play with Jonah a certain way, and there's a way that you play with me. Like you can like mess around and hit him and try and push him down, but just realizing that he can't do that with me.
Yeah.
So trying to teach him the difference in that, and just like us and how we interact too, we just have to show him that like when we do mess around, like it's gentle.
And lastly, we try to combat the dangers of the world by teaching our children the things we want them to embody. It's just one, hard work. From an early age, we know that it's good for Bryson to develop a work ethic, to develop responsibility. And we've touched on that in a video or two before.
Yeah, so we just want him to take on responsibilities in the house as well. So, if it's time for a nap or it's time to snack, like he'll clean up his toys before he goes to that next thing. It's not just me or Jonah cleaning up everything for him. Like before he goes to bed, he cleans up all his toys downstairs. I mean, we obviously help him, but we teach him that that's what you do. When we do laundry, he loves helping us with laundry. So help us like put it in the washer, he'll put the buttons, he'll put it in the washer to dryer. So doing things like that around the house, and just to know that that's just what you do to help out around the house.
That's just what you do. And it's what you do as a man and as a woman in this world. You have to work hard, but it's also what we do as Christians. We believe that God tells us to work hard, to work diligently for him and for his glory. So we're going to teach him that. And to come alongside of Key's point, it's also to remember that we can't waver in our standard of that. If Key tells Bryson, yo, you got to clean up these cards before we go play with something else,
that's what you do.
She can't waver. She can't say, okay, let's go play and leave the pile of cards on the ground. Because next time that happens, or a year from now, or 2 years from now, when you tell him, hey, clean this up, he's going to be like, psh. She didn't really follow up with me last time, so I really don't have to clean it. And then you got a nightmare on your hands.
Yeah, even if he's being like defiant, you have to be stern. And Bryson, we're picking up the cards, bringing him over there, picking up one by one.
And another one we want to continue to have our children embody is manners. Right? And manners have gone out the window as time has gone on. It's kind of crazy. But in the home is where you train your kids to do that. We try to help Bryson, say please and thank you for everything. We try to help him to understand that, and it might be a little hard at this age, but even when Kiana's on the phone with her mom and Bryson wants to say hello, he's like, Riri, 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 and they're having a discussion. And I try to tell him, I said, be patient. You have to wait your turn, So those types of things I think we can start to introduce now.
Definitely.
Sure.
And even like when he's trying to pass someone, I don't even think we taught him this. I think he just learned this from us, but he'll say, Mimi, like, excuse me. Like he'll try and, even if he's like passing something that can't talk, like he'll try and like get behind a chair on the wall. He'll be like, excuse me. Yeah. But he knows the idea, like he's trying to get through and something's in the way. So he's saying, excuse me.
Yep. And on that same token, it's crazy. Bryson did not get this from us. I think it's just the spirit that God has given him. Whenever he's outside and we're walking past people, he says hello to everyone.
Everybody.
And some of you might know what that's like because some of your kids might have done it, or you might have been that kid before. But I think that's just crazy that's a form of politeness. That's a form of manners. Like it's lost in today's time. And the last one is just being loving. I think a major thing missing in our culture today, worldwide, is nobody has love for each other.
True, sincere love.
And I think we can teach that to our children by, one, demonstrating it and how we love one another, but also in teaching them how to love each other as siblings. We taught Bryson right when Raylan came home how to be gentle, how to give her kisses, how to hug her gently, and even how to hug us, how to kiss us, how to be gentle with us. Like, it's important that we show him. Ray, clean up on aisle 5. like I was saying, I think it's important for us to show and demonstrate that, but also try to get our children to embody how to love.
And Bryson, I think, is just naturally a loving guy. Just like me and Jen will be in the kitchen doing something, he'll come up and just kiss us on our leg. Like, he just really wants to show love and affection. Like, anytime he, leaves a room or he goes upstairs to take his nap, or Raylan's going to take her nap, he'll always give her a kiss and give her a hug before they leave. So I think that's really awesome to see too.
For sure. So that is all we have for today, y'all. And just an encouragement to all of you young parents out there, and parents in general, if you're watching this, you can create the environment in your home that you want to stimulate growth and maturity for your children. Don't feel like there's some secret formula out there. We as Christians believe that the Holy Spirit, right, in us and obeying the Bible allows us to create this environment for our children. Don't feel like it's outside of your reach. It's something that you can't attain. It's possible. You as the parents have to embody what you want your kids to do, and it'll happen. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and join our family. Thank you for everyone helping us get to over 200 subscribers. We appreciate that milestone. Again, it's not about the subscribers or the views, but we love that people want to listen to this stuff, because we just want to keep sharing our experiences and sharing our love with you all. Oh, you ready to get up? You want to stand up?
Okay.
And just in closing, like I always say, everybody go out there and do everything for God's glory and someone else's good, because your life is not about you. It's about His glory. It's so much bigger than us, and we just play a small part in this. Make sure y'all smash that like button, please. But that's it for today, y'all. We'll be dropping more videos soon, so stay tuned. All right, JK fam out. Peace.